Hello everyone and welcome to week 46 of RollPlay Solum. I think it's been about 2 weeks since we last played, so get ready. It's time to find out what everyone's going to just sit down. It's going to be 30 minutes. We're going to take the full time here. It's been 2 weeks. Just skip 30 minutes if you don't want to listen to this.
Don't skip it.
Don't skip 30 minutes.
It's good.
It's going to be good.
And then we just talked for 2 minutes, really.
Ryan promises it's going to be good. Ryan.
Well, not for me, but
Oh. Well, why is
it
it?
usually is. The banter is nice. I like it.
Oh, okay. Well, what have you been up to that's not good?
Like not shit. I really haven't been like up to anything really.
Just nothing? Nothing going on?
Yeah, I hate to like hype it and then have nothing to follow up. I've just
people just skip
been
the 30
doing,
minutes.
Like, what I normally do, you know, like streaming and.
So what have you been streaming?
Some League, Mafia, just the usual suspects. Hearthstone. I got 1 star away from Legend, and then I backslid. I went on a losing streak, and so that kind of sucked.
Wait, what is? Oh, Hearthstone.
A star?
Legend.
Is that Mario 64? Oh, no, okay.
No, okay. So like Hearthstone, the way the ranks work is like
I thought you were talking about League. Yeah.
From 25 to 1, and then above 1 is Legend, and you have to get 5 stars in each rank to level up to the next rank. So I was basically 1 win away from being legendary, which is like top, I don't know, 3,000 players in North America.
Isn't it? I thought it was top 100. Is that wrong?
No, there's like usually 3,000 to 5,000 people that make it.
So it's a ranking of 1 to 100, and there's 3,000 of them? Or does Legend ranking not start? Like, how does that work?
So those 3,000 people, they make up like around 0.5% of the player base.
Oh.
So it's a very small percentage.
But how does the actual ranking work? Is there like Legend?
So you start off at 25, right? And so
I get that.
if you get a win, you get a star, and then
right,
25.
Right. I'm saying like when you hit, when does Legend start?
Okay, so Legend starts
what is the
after
rank right?
1.
Okay.
1. 25 to 1, and then after 1, above that is Legend.
So for every 10 stars you get Legend, and then for every Legend you get is 3,000.
Is that how it works?
Exactly how he explained it. Yes,
Okay.
That's exactly it.
All right.
From what I understand, Legend's pretty hard to do. Actually, people get really excited about it.
It's very hard to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Ryan didn't do it.
North
so
America is shit tier Hearthstone, right? Like it's Europe that's all the rage.
I think that there are different metas that exist.
I think Korea's the best, is what I heard.
No, they're actually really bad, if I understand correctly. China, the guy offered a fucking Ferrari to the guy that wins that
what
for the Chinese team. Yeah,
that wins the Hearthstone.
So I can't. This is gonna kill some people because they know the story like the back of their hand, and I'm gonna butcher it. But generally speaking, they had this like EU NA versus China tournament, and the Chinese got blanked hard. Like it was just they got shat on. And then some rich Chinese guy said, you know, that's really embarrassing. The winner, the next time we do this, of the Chinese players, the winner of them will get a fucking Ferrari. And I think they had that tournament recently, and guessing by the fact that I haven't heard Slasher talk about a kid winning a Ferrari.
He probably just killed the kid. That's probably what happened. They didn't give him
I think he'd give him the Ferrari. He doesn't care. He's like a billionaire or something like that. But no Chinese won again, if I get it correct.
Oh. Do you watch the tournaments?
Ferrari. I do watch. I pretty much watch tournaments of all kinds. Like I like Hearthstone, Dota, Counter-Strike, like League, any of that. Anything esports I'm into.
Did you watch the HTC Hearthstone tournament?
Maybe. I don't really.
There's like a billion Hearthstone tournaments. I didn't realize.
Yeah, there's a lot of them, so I don't know if it was the HTC one, but I have one.
The only reason I brought that up because me and Jeff were talking about it recently on, I think it's 24-hour stream or something like that.
Yeah.
But that was a weird tournament because like all the players' cameras were like in little HTC phones, and it was weird branding.
Oh, maybe I didn't see that then.
Yeah, you would have remembered it, I think.
Yeah.
I think. What else have you been up to besides that? Have you seen any movies? Have you gone outside?
Yes, I actually was about to say that. I did go outside. I am in a wedding party. One of my friends is getting married in like a month or two. And we went to go see Mad Max this week.
Still haven't seen it yet.
God damn it.
It is, if you're into action movies, it's like essentially like a 2-hour car chase is like basically what that movie is in a nutshell.
Do not 2-hour car chase.
I mean,
That's what Fast and Furious is. Mad Max is a beautiful work of art that is amazing.
Okay, so out of the 2 hours, Jeff, how long would you say they're in cars? Is it around cars?
It's a fucking
chasing?
Mad Max movie. Yeah,
I know. I'm not downplaying it. I think it's a good movie.
First of all, it's not a car chase. It's a truck chase, if anything. It's a fucking battle wagon.
Okay.
It's being chased.
Cars are not trucks. Today I learned.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I don't think they are.
Are they? When I think of a car, a truck
We're in
can be
Peter's territory because that's like
it's semantics, 100%. But when I think
fish,
yeah,
but
it could be anything really.
There's not like downtime. It's like action.
It's the one-shot action movie. It's actually a genre it's John Wick, and now Mad Max have like started the one-shot action movie, and it's becoming a thing.
I liked it, and you know what I liked the most about the movie was like the little things, like the I don't know. They made the environment really believable for how it was, and I just liked all the.
They didn't use very much CGI, which is like it's a weird thing to appreciate these days.
Yeah, it was cool. I really liked it.
What do you mean it's a one-shot movie like John Wick?
Like John Wick is literally action from start to finish. That's what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like a true one shot. It's not like
a
single shot the entire movie, but it's just like action from like the action starts and then the movie ends for 2 hours.
You know, there is an actual one-shot movie. What was that one about the actors and shit?
I don't know.
It was actually filmed in one shot. Or no, it's not filmed in one shot, excuse me, but the camera never breaks. It goes from one scene to the next constantly the entire film. It won all those awards. I'm terrible with names. Someone in chat will say it. But anyways, that's interesting.
It happened in True Detective.
Did they do that too?
That was the
scene.
Thank you.
That was a scene, not an episode.
Crush Kappa. It was Birdman. Thank you.
Birdman was one shot?
Well, no, the whole movie, like the camera never breaks to another scene. It constantly goes from one scene to the next by just like panning.
Everyone just said watch Birdman and didn't tell me that. If they would have told me that, I would have already watched it. Now I need to watch the movie.
See, it's interesting.
Yeah, that's the interesting part of the movie. The fucking idiots. Why did they not tell me that shit?
Yeah, it's not true one shot, as the chat is very astutely pointing out as they push up their glasses on their foreheads. But it is it's filmed in a single sequence, I believe. I don't know how you like. There's gonna be movie buffs, and you're like, well, actually, technically, you know. But no, it's pretty much that.
Ryan, I watched a movie, and I think I might actually watch your favorite movie. I watched Breakfast at Tiffany's last night, which is an old school movie.
I have not seen that, but I
actually
know
Anna's favorite movie.
It's a pretty good movie.
Yeah.
But I want to watch Cool Hand Luke.
You should watch my favorite movie. I've seen it like twice, I think, maybe 3 times.
I guess I'm gonna watch it now because I've been watching a bunch of old movies recently, so maybe I'll check that out.
I enjoy it. I don't.
Is it on Netflix and you're just like fuck it or
yeah, it's on Netflix.
Fuck it, we'll watch Breakfast with Tiffany's.
Yeah, no, it was literally
it's a classic film.
No, it was. I saw it on Netflix. There was a cold medicine induced haze in my head, and I was like, yeah, sure, let's watch that. And then 2 hours later, I was just like, this is a great movie. This is very delightful
I
movie.
think so. Here's the problem I have with Netflix, which is a funny problem, ultimate first world thing to say, but like I've been to a couple restaurants where the menu is so expansive that it's actually difficult to select anything.
That's
because
Netflix,
and that is Netflix. Every time I'm like, you know what? I've gamed all day. I'm tired. I've got some time. Let's go watch Netflix, and I'll stroll through it. I'm like, I could watch that. I could watch that again.
See what you have to do. I've learned, Jeff. What you got to do is you have to add stuff to your list.
Yeah.
And then when you want to watch something, you don't browse. You just go to your list. And then the selection is incredibly skewed to your favor of actually finding something that you'll watch.
I believe
you got to do that. You got to add it to your list.
I was home alone, and Babadook is supposed to be one of the scariest movies you can watch. It's on Netflix right now.
Yeah, I've seen that.
It's incredible.
Did you watch it?
I pussed out, man. I was sitting there in the dark, posed, staring blankly at me with her dark, fucking evil black eyes, just looking at me, and I was like, nope, not tonight. Not going to do it.
Wait, so that movie's actually scary?
It's, from what everyone says, like actual horror movie connoisseurs and shit like that, they say it's up there with one of the scariest movies you can ever watch.
Oh, I thought it was like a comedy horror flick. I'm glad I didn't watch it going into that.
It's supposed to be really good, though, so yeah, I'm going to watch that soon.
Oh. Yeah, the critics' consensus is that the Babadook relies on real horror rather than cheap jump scares.
Yeah.
98% on Rotten Tomatoes, huh?
Yeah, it's incredible. Like, Wheat told me about it months ago. It's like, hey, you know what's really good? And what's so funny is the name makes you take it lightly. You're like,
That's why I thought it was a comedy movie.
Yeah.
It
And that's the name of the monster,
It sounds
too.
like tribal or something.
Babadook. It's like a British fucking monster in a storybook that if you say its name, it comes out and shit like that. I don't know. It's great.
Huh. I probably won't watch that.
Well, if you check out Cool Hand Luke, I just looked it up on Rotten Tomatoes. It's
I know it's very well reviewed.
A hundo, a cool hundo.
I might watch a bunch more Hepburn flicks, like Roman Holiday, her like first film. That's supposed to be pretty good. There's two more that I can't remember the name of, but I have them. I can't remember. Whatever. Sabrina, that's another one of hers. It might be good. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll watch Cool Hand Luke. Jeff, what?
Anna loves Hepburn.
Hepburn, yeah. Besides trying to watch Babadook, what have you been up to?
A lot of streaming. A lot of Warhammering. Went to Portland this past weekend. It was fun. Easy drive. Got my Hawaiian food. Promptly took a picture of it.
I saw that. It wasn't as good as your previous pictures of the Hawaiian food.
No.
You changed the dish, or the dish changed.
I didn't.
Oh.
They didn't. It was just like I think it was just a slightly more.
It looked more stewy than it did like an actual like a bunch of meat.
The end result was about the same. I can tell you it tasted about as amazing as it has in the past. But you're right. The picture was not nearly as tantalizing. But results-wise, went 3-2, middle of the pack. Not great, but that happens. I went into it. There's these new guys from the Eldar Codex, which is like space elves. They drop down, they don't scatter, and they shoot a flamethrower that just kills whatever it touches.
Nice.
And I was like, okay, well, if I face that, I'm going to lose. One guy out of 54 fucking people brought them.
You had him?
And I hit him. And I was super excited about it the whole time. So anyways, so that was funny. Other than that, still waiting on the Warlord Titan.
You still haven't gotten it yet?
Nope. It's on the website.
Have you at least
it's not on the website.
You haven't purchased it even. They
Nope.
Okay.
And it's getting to the point where it's one of those things where I'm like, check the phone. Nope. Okay. Talk. Check the phone again. Nope. Still not there.
It's that
And then
bad.
I realize I'm doing it. And I'm like, oh my god, Jeff, just chillax.
I can't. You're gonna be in like cold sweats when that actually gets ordered, and you have to wait for it.
Someone just took more pictures of its legs that are just like twice as tall as the other biggest model that we have right now. And I'm like, yeah, I want it.
Wait, how do they have it already?
Because they sold five bags of it at Forge World Day in England, where the British just keep it for themselves, those son of a bitches. And then at the site, they let like 10 or 15 people order them. So they had those people haven't gotten one yet, but there have been 5 copies sold out. And those people are just they're sending pictures out like, look how big it is, look how gorgeous it is, and the rest of us are all like, yeah. But it's not that many of us, I imagine, because it is a $2,000 model, which is...
how many people do you think are like trying to buy that right now?
Not like if I had to ballpark, I would say when it goes on the website, something like 50 people will order it, or a little bit less, like 40.
Do you have like a notifying system for when it actually goes on sale?
No. I have their app on my phone, and I check the website a bunch. And I've like every time I stream, I'm like, hey chat, just if you see the Warlord Titan, just let me know, because
yeah, I mean the
internet knows before anybody else.
The chances of it going up while you're asleep are pretty high, I would imagine.
Yep. They're weekend kind of people, so like each weekend is the big
that's the
check
big
mark.
Release.
They won't say though. I emailed them like, hey, when's it coming out? And they're like, oh, we can't tell you, but it'll be soon. I was like,
that's really dumb.
Oh, you.
That's really dumb.
It makes no sense because they've already announced it and they've sold some copies and they're like, here's what we're making, but the actual date for it to go on, I think what it is just that they're literally cramming out the model so they don't know when it's going to go out and they don't want to tell me a wrong date or something like that.
Are you going to use that at tournaments?
No, not tournaments.
It's just
the biggest tournament
piece?
Yeah, it's like a centerpiece. It's the fucking Cadillac of the models. It's so cool. You can play games with it. You can play with it, but tournaments, like to give you an example, actually even to show off something that the guy gave me, but so a guy made this for me and sent it in. This is Swarmlord, who is an actual model, but he's painted the EG colors and he made a cool base that has an EG on it. So really cool. But Swarmlord is 285 points of a 1,850 point tournament. So, you mix and match your models up into those points, and then that's your army. That model, the Warlord Titan, is base 2,500 points, and then no, it's 2,750 points, and then with upgrades, he's usually about 3,150. So almost twice what the normal tournament is.
Oh.
So does that mean you'll never get to play with him in a tournament?
In a tournament, probably not. But what's cool about it is I'm going to have terrain at my house. I'm going to be doing battle reports. We're going to do stuff like Warlord Titan versus whatever the fuck you can bring, and then we'll play it out, and it'll last 30 minutes. And then there's things called Apocalypse games, which is where
It's
nerds
like the bigger games, yeah.
Oh, yeah. The nerds that went a little bit over the top with their models, which is, I'm in that classification, they bring all their toys, and they play for an entire day, and it gets ridiculous.
You're going to have to get like a special traveling case for that, right?
For him, I'm thinking about getting one of those like papooses that go on your chest and just kind of carrying them around on my chest.
Nice.
But yeah, no, there's no carrying case for him at all. You just, if you take him to a tournament, you like literally are like, okay, be right back, and then you come back with this 75-pound chunk of resin that's 3 feet tall.
It's 75 pounds. That's how much it weighs.
Probably 50.
That's still a lot, though. That's still pretty impressive.
Crap.
Still impressive.
So I'm excited. And that's me. That's me in a nutshell. Just a lot of gaming.
Did you buy any cases for that new CSGO?
Bro, I read so many horror stories. Like I talked to Maven and Puckett and some of these guys from MLG and stuff, and they're like,
Well, Maven spent like 4,000 on cases.
That's what I'm saying. And he's like, just open my first knife, and I read that, and I'm like, fuck no, man.
I'm at
Fuck no.
I'm at 400 right now spent, and I don't have a knife.
I'm probably around that. I would say it's been around $400. And after each one, I don't feel super dirty. It's not like they give you utter trash. You get some nice things.
I got a Cyrex M4A1.
Yeah.
I got a
nice.
Asimov Op last night. I got an Asimov P90. So
Those are great. Those are pretty
got
cool.
decent skins, but
it's all a game, and they know it, because the second you get those, you're like, oh, those are pretty cool. And then you go on the market, and you can find guns that are like twice as cool for half the cost, and you're like, you're like, oh, I should have just bought that. But then the gambling, like you said, you're like, no, let's open cases because maybe I'll win the best.
yeah, it's true. It's true. And the new cases are expensive too. They were $4 when I checked this afternoon for the case, and then $2 for the key. $2.50.
They go down in like a week or two, but still, it's like you want to be one of those first people to open up the nice gun and be like, oh god.
They were at like $8.50 when they debuted on Tuesday or whatever. So it's already depreciated, I guess. Is that the proper term?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I remember when Chroma 2 came out, and those guns, like the Hyper Beast stuff like that, was like $800.
Wait, how much are the Hyper Beast ops selling for right now? Do you know?
Around that, probably. I don't know for sure. But
Fucking Gold Glove opened 20 cases and got it on his like 19th or something on the first day.
God.
I was so fucking pissed. I was so pissed that he got that shit. But
Phantom Lord just bought Dragon Lore. It's the Dragon Lore op, but it's the what is it called? The trophy one? No, it's a trophy. One. Only 3 people own it, like on the planet.
Really?
Those guns sell for over $10,000.
Wait, what? Why is it a trophy one? Like, is that
it's
just
to
something
commemorate an event or something like that? But it just means it's more rare. It just means that like X many were dropped or whatever it is. But they're just that is the gun, the Dragon Lore. It's not quite called a trophy. I can't remember what it's called, but it's something like that.
Interesting. I didn't know that they were that souvenir is what people are saying.
Souvenir, yes.
Yeah, I didn't know that got that crazy. I knew they got crazy, but I didn't know they were that crazy. Well, hopefully by next week I don't have that purchased. That would be great. That'd be a good life. Jen, jet setting across the world. How was the trip?
It was pretty good. We had the Community Developers Summit where all the comdevs of Ubisoft meet together and talk about things.
Community things.
Yeah, mostly community things. Yeah, we like share experiences, get some people from other departments presenting things to us. And we got one day of like team building on Friday, which was pretty neat. People were not stoked for it, but I was. We did the escape the room thing. Mm-hmm. So they put us in a room, and then there's like clues within the room, and we get 1 hour to escape.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah,
I haven't been to that.
I've seen that.
I think Tally was telling me about that.
I was pretty stoked for it, and everyone was like, "Man, it's gonna be all right." And then they decided to like split our group of like 30 into teams of 5. So we all did it at the same time in different identical rooms.
Yeah.
So like everyone's like, yeah, it's a co-op thing. I'm like, fuck this, we're getting out before these other teams. And I'm like, let's optimize this shit and get out first. We came out second, but it was really fun. I really, really enjoyed it, and I feel like I want to do that again.
Is that the one where you went to one where like the guy stands in the room and then there's like a clue in the center of the room and you have to figure stuff out, right?
What do you mean by
They come in
guys?
different shapes and sizes usually.
Oh, well, what was like? Describe it, because I've heard of that one.
So we did 2 rooms in Paris. The first one we did was like it was called a Zen room. So we were just 5 people put into that room. We had 1 hour, and we were given like no clues in a tiny storyline of like, I don't know. You need to go find 5 Japanese artifacts, and you have to escape the room within 1 hour, or else you lose. And then we just start the game, and we start like touching things, looking underneath tables, and then we start finding clues, putting them together. And then at some point it was really neat. We had like spoilers if anyone goes to Paris and wants to do it. We had like found 5 little swords, and we're like, there's 5 holes in that thing near the door, and then we're like, put them in. And we're like at 20 minutes before the end. We're thinking we're getting close to the end, and then boom, the wall opens, and there was like as big of a room right next to us, and we're like, oh fuck. And then so many more clues. It was really cool. And there was a robot that we had to control with a remote to like move a piece. That was really neat.
Yeah. Tally told me, he basically described it. He said that there was a guy in the room, though, that you could like talk to. And, like,
yeah, a lot of times they have a coach that just makes sure that he can answer questions if you need to.
We had someone talk to us, but only through a TV screen.
Oh, that's creepy.
So like the person would just, the person would just type, and when they would type, it would go like doom doom, and then we'd all look at the TV, and it would say like, give us a tiny clue if we were like stuck for too long, or.
I think it's because you did it in Montreal, which is basically Europe, so you guys have more.
She didn't.
Have more relaxed laws.
She wasn't.
Oh, it was Europe. Yeah, you guys have no laws. Life doesn't mean anything, so like, they could just all die in the room, probably.
That's actually what happened.
It was really fun. It was really fun.
That's what happens to a losing team. They, instead of firing them at Ubisoft, they just put them in there, and they're still in there. Who knows what happened?
Get out!
It was pretty funny when we got out of the room, because we're like, yay, we did it, and we did it so fast, and we're like, woo, celebrating coming out, and then we see like the other team, like, as if they were waiting for us for an hour, and then we're like, how long did you guys get out? And they're like 20 seconds ago.
Oh.
So they had all like rushed to place themselves as if they had been chilling for like way too long.
That's the perfect plan, but you never admit 20 seconds ago.
Yeah,
you don't.
And then that's what I told them. I'm like, fuck this, we're joining you in this like bored stance. And then when the others came out, we didn't tell them.
Nice.
We're like, oh yeah, we've all been there for like 10 minutes. You guys are not that great.
You did it right. You did it right.
Yeah, and then one team didn't get out. That was pretty nice.
Yeah, they're still trapped.
So,
yeah.
well, we needed to fire a couple people, so we figured, like, let's just get rid of the bottom 5.
Yep. Well, cool. Neal, how's Vietnam?
Vietnam's good.
Did you get a haircut?
A while ago, I guess.
Okay. It just.
I don't remember the last time we chatted.
I think it looks shorter than usual. Looks good.
Thanks.
What have you been up to? What's going on in Vietnam?
Not much.
What's the talk of the town?
Oh, come on, Neil. You haven't gone on any, let's say, boat trips
break.
or rock climbing lately?
Did you kill any tigers
No,
recently?
none of that.
Like, what's going on?
Rock climbing over the ocean. That was fun.
That was a random
You
guess.
encountered some weird guy that tried to sell you something that was actually heroin, but then...
Deep water climbing is what it is. So that you sit on like a little basket boat, and the basket boat goes all the way up against the cliff, like the sheer cliff over the ocean, and then just climb up the cliff. And when you can't make it any farther, or when you slip, you just tumble off into the water, which is awesome because the water's super warm.
How many people die doing that a day?
None. I mean, you would have to fall into the cliff to hurt yourself because it's a sheer drop and then deep water.
That sounds fucking terrifying.
Isn't there monsters in water? Like just absolute monsters?
That's where
no, not in
Cthulhu
How Long
lives.
Bay. They're jellyfish, but few and far between, and I didn't see any that time.
Okay.
So yeah, that was fun. That was cool. We've got a friend visiting from the States tomorrow. Yeah, but on that, it's just been random, people on the street doing weird shit, getting stares,
Nice.
trying to be sold stuff. The same stories as usual. It's been a pretty chill week.
I played Far Cry 4 recently, and I realized that Far Cry 4 is basically you just running through that's how I imagine Vietnam is Far Cry 4.
I think so. Elephants and whatnot.
Just elephants destroying towns and a tiger coming up and trying to bite
Sniper
you,
rifles.
but then you just shoot it in the head with a deagle and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Pretty much it.
That's what I envisioned your life to be.
Yeah.
There's
well,
no
I'm going to be heading
mosquitoes,
to. Well, it's not a very accurate.
Yeah, it's not very accurate. That I knew it took some liberties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No! I actually do have something cool. If I couldn't get it, I was gonna actually try and get this off my wife's camera for you guys.
You were supposed to do you could talk about that.
What?
There was a.
He's gonna do a 24-hour
So you know how
stream
there's snake wine and scorpion wine. You've got a
Yeah,
bottle
yeah,
of rice wine, something with scorpion in it.
Yeah, you had
I
cat
saw
wine.
it must be like a 15-gallon jug. It's like this huge glass jug with this brownish alcohol in it, with no shitting you, a full-blown cat just hanging out inside of it.
Well, not hanging
cat
out.
wine.
Dead.
And
I mean, it's dead, but it's a big house cat, just inside this bottle of rice wine.
That's just weird because that's I can buy that a snake or something like that maybe adds some flavor or something or is harmless, but a cat, that is absolutely not hygienic.
in Canada, they have a thing called cat wine. It's an actual thing, but it's not with a cat in it. It's just the bottle's the shape of a cat, so it's a little bit different.
With a cat in it, man. Vietnam sees your cat wine in Canada and raises you an actual cat.
So did you drink it?
No one drank any of that stuff.
What?
We just looked at it sitting on the shelf over there. I'm like, no.
Did you ask about it?
No, I don't even know how you would get anything out of there. It was full, and there was no nozzle. It looked like you'd have to tilt the entire thing up. It might have just been a display piece.
No, what they do is they go underneath the bar and they get the cat to break it. It's a stuffed cat, and they take that cat and then break the bottle with the cat in it, and then that's how you drink the cat fermented alcohol. That's what you do.
Yeah.
Well, Neil, did you do you're going to do a 72-hour fucking stream, man.
So I was going to do that last week, and it crashed and burned, so I did a 24-hour last week, and I'm going to do a 36 or 48-hour this weekend.
Yeah.
And then, depending on how I'm feeling, because I'm really out of marathoning shape, I'll probably try an 80 next weekend or the weekend after that.
Oh, God. That's awesome.
But it's a little fucking harder to do it here, man. I'm falling asleep at 24 hours.
Oh, yeah,
or
no.
36.
Here you go. It's rice wine infused with many animals. That's what this was.
I watched.
There's some rats or something in there. I don't know. It's got a bunch of different animals.
Terrible. I watched your stream. You had a blanket over the top of you. What was that for?
Oh, well, so I've got this annoying white background behind me, and I've been having a hard time trying to communicate with the security guards down there, which do all the housekeeping, or not housekeeping, all the repairs and painting and fixing things. So I've been trying to get the wall behind me painted green, so it's not just blinding white. And chat was just complaining about stuff about the blinding background. So I can't hang a blanket because these walls are 1.5 foot concrete, so you can't actually put anything into the walls to hang it. So I built a blanket fort and streamed from inside a blanket fort for 12 hours.
Nice.
You are nicer to your chat than I think is necessary.
But I mean, when you're playing video games for 24 hours, you need to change it up somehow.
I agree. I mean, it was actually a tent fort. The blanket was pressing on your head and shit. I was like,
oh, there was nothing to hold on to.
I
put it over the desk. Just
it looked like torture, though, didn't it? Well,
no, it was fine. It just made the temperature weird. But this summer, I am heading to Europe and touring around Europe and kind of streaming my way across Europe, starting in Romania and ending in England. I think I'm taking 18 cities in 7 countries or 8 countries.
When does that start?
July 7. I
Nice.
start in Romania, in Bucharest, and then to Hungary and Germany and Switzerland and Belgium, Denmark, the Netherlands, Norway, Sweden, Scotland, England.
Nice.
cool.
So that's
Sorry,
gonna be
I
fun.
got lost in the Google image search of Vietnam cat wine, which I don't I don't recommend.
I will get the cool image of the full-on cat chilling in the bottle of wine and bring it up for you guys next week.
I think, Neil, one of your marathon tiers
Would
should
be
be
to
at a
drink
certain
that.
tier. You fucking drink that stuff on stream, man.
Yeah, you periscope you going over to the bar, then drink it.
Well,
See?
one of the tiers is I'm gonna eat some dog. So we'll start with there.
Yeah, it probably tastes
No,
like chicken.
Neil!
What?
Cat wine's way higher up, man.
You're gonna eat dog?
Ryan, what?
Yeah.
You're like offended by
They
this,
sell it
man.
on the street, man.
I would never eat dog, dude. I don't
What?
know. I couldn't do
I had a
it.
discussion about
I
that.
would
with,
never eat dog.
I would
Unless
try
I
it.
was,
Vegan.
unless I was dying, I couldn't do it, man. I couldn't
Really?
eat.
That's not like they tell you what the dog did before he died.
I'd eat some like weird shit before I ate
It's
a
probably
dog.
like a wild dog, man. It's probably not like a fucking
No,
Pomeranian.
actually,
Well, it's like stray dogs then.
There's a small problem in Vietnam with people's pets going missing, and there's a lot of speculation that they end up as food.
Well, I mean,
I
I
would
didn't
eat
know
dog.
him prior to that. I would eat dog. Yeah, I'd try it.
I would
once.
eat dog. I would eat cat. I don't care. I eat-
There is cat that
Like,
is sold.
why
here
would
in
I not
stores.
eat dog and cat if I'm okay with eating bunnies or like?
You
shark
eat bunnies,
or-
Jin?
Well, like
Have you never had
rabbit,
rabbit, right?
Rabbit's
Rabbit?
actually super common in like the
guess
French.
not. I don't know.
or
culinary
like
world.
duck or like I don't see why I would discriminate or do favoritism.
I don't like
if
eating
I eat meat,
Pet
I
animals
should be
are off the menu.
I
for-
should be open
Get
to
pet,
eat
I'm
any
out.
type of animal.
Yeah.
I mean, you're allowed to, but I'm not. You don't
Makes
see me
no
like
sense.
going to eat some porcupines or like some like. I
Oh,
don't-
dude, they sell porcupine here too.
Why
I would
not
eat any
eat
of that.
porcupine? What's so special about
It's like,
porcupines
why not
or
just eat
cats?
chickens? Just eat chickens and cows, and you're good.
Well, why just eat? Why chicken over cat? Like they are both creatures.
Because
I don't know.
cats have souls.
Jen, you know this math doesn't work. It's like,
Yes, it does.
having sex is normal. Having sex with a horse is also. I mean, what's the difference?
No,
Hey,
my
really?
argument is completely logical.
I agree with Jen. I think that's a completely different conversation than
yeah.
Yeah. It's not.
Things.
I
yeah,
think it
eating
would be-
things and sex. Two completely different things.
They're
Like, what are
pretty
you
different,
talking
but the math of like, I eat cow, why not eat dog? Is like, I eat cow, why not eat porcupine?
about? I mean,
Yeah.
that's the same thing to me. That's the same
I mean,
argument.
if it's eatable,
You guys would eat anything? Is that what you're saying? You eat anything on the
I
planet?
would. Yeah, I would. If someone offered me dog and I was in Vietnam, I'd be like, yeah, I guess I'll try that.
All right.
Not me.
yeah.
man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ryan and I will be just behind you with a gun to defend the poor dog.
I would try any animal meat. I don't see why I would discriminate
Jen,
against you.
Next time you're in San Francisco, let me know. I'm gonna find the weirdest fucking shit. I'm gonna have you eating cow
No,
dick or
just
something like
just
that.
take her to
I'll
that
try
thing where
it.
wheat went, the 5A5
There
steakhouse,
you go.
where they give you the little bulletin of like the cow's name and like how it lived and how long it lived and where it.
You'd eat
I would eat
anything,
it.
Jen?
Why not? I would at least try it.
That's
There's-
amazing. You're
There's
braver
lots
than
of
I
stuff
am.
that I will never try just because I don't know.
Like
Not
what?
worth-
Besides cat and dog.
Like, okay, what are those like
What-
eggs? Those like weird eggs that are like
Oh, like
half
The Swedish eat
1,000-year-old
rotten
egg-
fish.
embryo,
Yeah, they eat
like
fermented
eggs
fish.
that
Yeah,
are
I'd
like
try
embryo
it.
or whatever.
Yep. Would try.
What egg embryos? What are you talking
There's
about?
The
these, like-
Swedish,
Yeah.
they
They
eat
have these
rotten
eggs
fish.
that-
Would you eat that, Jen?
The fermented fish. I've actually had it before. It's quite
smells
gross.
and looks terrible.
You had it?
Yeah, it's really fucking disgustingly gross.
Like,
It's basically
isn't it
raw
like-
fish.
Yeah, how'd you try it though? That's
Oh, but I do like raw fish.
This is not the same thing. It comes in like little hockey pucks, basically. And it basically they put it in there and then they just store it room temperature and it's basically fermenting for like a year or two.
Yep.
And then you open it and it smells like the most foul fucking smell you've ever smelled in your entire life.
But
No
is
matter
it
what, it's
good?
the worst smell. No, it's not. Like
Matter what.
Well, then why would I eat it? If someone tells me something is disgusting, then I'm not sure I want to eat it.
Oh, I'm
know.
sure you'd like it. The Swedish love
Like,
it.
if some people
Swedish
from
love
some
it.
Well, I
culture
just told you
actually
eating
appreciate
dog
it,
is
I'll try it.
disgusting. I just told you that.
But you have no empirical evidence for that. That is purely subjectivity.
Jen, you're at a really fancy person's house,
Yeah.
and Hannibal Lecter serves you brains out of a person's skull. Would you eat it?
I won't eat human. What the fuck?
So there is a line that you draw, Jen. Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I will
human.
not eat my own species. What
At
the
cannibalism? Come
Cannibalism.
on, that's a reasonable fucking line.
I would hope so. I didn't know.
I feel like
I-
dog is a reasonable line, but
No.
apparently not. It's crazy.
Logically, no. Emotionally, maybe.
I think the amount of people that have eaten dog in like the course of the world is it's so common outside of the US probably that it's not that big of a deal.
Is it?
It's probably good too.
Is it
It's
common?
really
They
not
sell it on the
super
they sell it on the
common.
street vendors in Vietnam. Like that's pretty fucking
Well,
common as far as
So
I'm concerned.
the reason they sell it here is that back during like the American War and the French War and the other wars before that, there was a lot of famine, and so the
Yeah,
older population was starving and like had to eat dogs.
Yeah.
And so now it's pretty much only the older population and the mafia who eat a ton of dog, and everyone else just kind of like picks at it from time to
I
time.
wonder if one species of dog is like more flavorful than another species. Like,
All right. Have you guys ever
I
watched?
mean, there's
An
like
Idiot
there's
Abroad?
Angus beef, right?
yeah, maybe. What were we saying, Ryan?
You ever
Angus
watch
dog.
An Idiot Abroad? Carl Pilkington.
No. Yeah, I've heard of
It-
it. I've never watched
Okay,
it though.
it's a great show, but he has this little bit where he sits down and he watches this woman eating scorpions on a stick, and he's like, "Here I am eating these chips, and she's just digging into these scorpions, man." Like, and
Yeah.
I'm with him, man. He's like completely. I'm just not adventurous like that when it comes to food.
I
just can't do it.
couldn't eat a scorpion.
Yeah.
I couldn't do the bug stuff.
Alive or dead?
I couldn't do the bug stuff. That would like
Dead,
eating a
they were
cockroach
dead.
or anything. That'd be
I
fucked
would
up.
try the
A
dead.
giant fat maggot is the worst, and there's people who eat that too. Like that's
Yeah,
a
they
delicate-
put that in,
alive
like-
things,
they
the
put that in
alive
leaves
things
and
are
stuff.
grossing me out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had garlic fried crickets.
Was that
I
any
was-
good?
That'd be
Good.
weird.
I did not. I mean, you could. It was just like crunchy
It's just
butter
really crispy.
and garlic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you didn't taste the cricket, but the concept of it was really not easy for me to swallow.
After watching Rhaegal, what he does to the crickets in our house, like I would have a super tough time eating crickets. The way he eats them, like sometimes he's like chewing on it, and it's like its innards like squirt out of its anus, like out of its back. And he's like, "Oh crap, I dropped some." And he like eats it off the ground. And I'm like, "Ah!" And then I have to clean up his turds, and his fucking turds are like this big,
Nice.
and all he eats are crickets. And
That's
I
a
don't
lot
know
of
how some of the
crickets, man.
colors come out of it. Like there's always a tube of white shit, like long, like this big, white, pure white shit. I don't know what it is.
I don't know, man. What are you feeding your animals?
Crickets.
I don't know.
That's what he gets.
Jeff, to bring this thing to full circle and to close it out, you should check out Irreversible if you're into scary movies, like fucked
Okay.
up movies. It's a real fucked up of a movie.
Is it on Netflix?
I don't know. I'm just saying you should. I know that in terms of like fucked upness, people put that like right at the top.
Isn't Irreversible the alternate title to Human Centipede?
No, this is that like Irreversible is like Everest and Human Centipede is like the fucking I don't know, the Rockies or something. Something
I'm gonna look
very,
it up now.
very, very, very not comparable. It's a really fucked up movie. Anyways, I guess we should play D&D.
Yeah, let's do that.
Sure. So the whole lot of you are sitting around the tavern at the Slippery Varmint, between the woods and the desert. This is a place where someone may or may not have sold Jen's raccoon for a quoted 50 gold to a pair of orcs who you have
Terrible.
left peaceably in the forest.
Yeah.
Right? You didn't kill them.
No,
You let 'em be.
They were very hospitable to me.
Yeah. And with you is this tall, silver-haired elf named Celia, who had a message for you, or a request for you from Mr. F, the wizard.
I'm currently drunk,
Okay.
and I have the hiccups.
All right. So you're drunk with the hiccups. Everyone else is sitting around this table with Celia, and she looks across the party and says, "So, this I have a job for you from our mutual friend, the wizard, red-robed wizard, Mr. F. Do you have any interest in taking on some work about now?"
Karn is just nodding, looking at her breasts.
Oh yeah, she was
They are
hot, I forgot.
petite and well covered.
He is imagining otherwise, but yes.
We're all there, or because I remember I went to sleep last time. But if I'm there, then I'm just like,
Well, then it's the next morning if you went to sleep last time.
Okay, yeah.
The situation is you're all hanging around.
yeah. I'm just like, yeah, go on. Need the full
I'm so
details
drunk.
before we're gonna agree to it.
I want to use.
There
some
is
hit
a
dice to roll them.
You're gonna what?
there's
Roll,
a
roll some hit dice for like to recover. Since if
Okay,
it's, like-
yeah, because you've rested for a night, so you may expend your hit dice to recover HP. Good call, Ryan.
You can actually
Would
spend
it-
multiple
like-
hit dice.
Yes. Would anyone else like to expend some hit dice?
I think I'm full. We're good.
14. That's really good.
How do I regain hit dice?
It happens after a full rest once a week, I believe. or at the end of a week?
Yes. If you get a week's rest, you get full HP and half your hit dice rounded up.
I'm at
So
max HP.
she says to you all, there is a tribe of elves to the north in the desert. They are called the Joshua tribe. Among them is a young male elf named Razugal. Mr. F would appreciate if you could bring Razugal down to Droon Outpost in the south. From there, you can leave word with the innkeeper at the Red Rose that there's a delivery for me, and I will come and take him down towards where we have our operation. Razugal will probably come willingly, but may need some convincing. And if that's the case, you should hand him, and she pulls out from a pack behind her, a small hand mirror and places it on the table. Give him this to use. That should convince him otherwise.
And what's in it for us?
A favor from a powerful wizard to be redeemed at your discretion.
Is that just like we snap our fingers and say, hey, we want the favor? Or what are the specifics?
Come find Mr. F. He lives down in Valesburg, and he will acquiesce to whatever request you make. One favor.
I'm looking around the group to see what everyone else thinks.
Karn still stares.
Any favor we ask for?
I will not qualify, but a favor. You understand how favors work?
Which is why I'm trying to clarify. Can it be a big...
If you ask for the moon, he cannot give you the moon. But if you would like some help with something a little bit unusual, he will be able to do it for you. If you would prefer a redeemable cash value option instead, we can work that out if you prefer tangible goods.
I look at the rest of the party and I say, tangible goods are always a strong thing, but ever since we looted that crypt and everything, we're pretty set on that. I kind of like the favor.
You never know when you could use
You
never know when you need a favor from a powerful wizard.
So, Razagul, we pick him up, and where is he at?
He is at the Joshua tribe to the north in the desert. Now, I should mention that it is unlikely the other elves will be very happy about you bringing Razagul south, so you might want to find a way to interact with them under a different set of premises.
Okay, and where are we taking Razagul?
Droon Outpost.
Wait, his name is Okay.
Razugal.
Okay. I was thinking Ra's al Ghul.
No, he's not that cool.
Okay.
Karn, you said something about the Joshua tribe, right?
Yes, war.
Is it? Do you know anything about this war going on, ma'am?
Orcs and elves, they hate each other. War is a melodramatic term. There are odds. They're always at odds.
Do you know anything specific to perhaps we could slip in under shadow of night, to maybe under one of the armies and get in there easier rather than just fighting our way in?
It's up to you. I'm sure you can visit the Joshua tribe without any problems. It just becomes a matter of what you tell them when you get there for why you're there. You could pose as merchants. You could try and find wounded elves in the desert or help them in battle, or come with a pure cash bribe and try and buy Razagul. However it happens, we would very much appreciate him down at Droon Outpost.
Okay, I look
I
around
leave the details up to you.
look around at the group and I'm like, I think we're gonna take this. Is that? We won't have any other plans.
It sounds good to me.
Finally, Karn kind of looks up and looks over at Mr. Varnouche and says, "If you could please translate for me, I would be most appreciative."
Anything you want, I guess.
I have been giving considerable thought. Her breasts are probably not as large as I think, but also, I wonder, we should understand this situation better. Is this Razgul supposed to come against his will? Does the mirror signal to him a secret message in which he knows he is needed? Is it payment? And she is alerting us to the idea that perhaps the other elves would stop us. So is he a captor of theirs? Does he serve them? I don't understand why we would need to deceive the other elves, but then reward this Ragul, or perhaps send him a secret message.
All right. What's the mirror for, lady?
The mirror is to help convince Razugal that he should come with you.
What does it do?
Karn's
It will
one good eye
show
kind of
him-
widens.
A possible future of his.
I burp now. I can't fake burp. I'm sorry, I would have done it.
Karn kind of looks at Varnush and goes like... And then he sighs and looks at the elfin lady and says... Why trick?
There's no trick here. You need not lie to Razugal. He should come with you fairly willingly. The mirror is a backup.
Other elves.
Oh, yes. Well, they may not like it when their family members leave. Whether they leave of their own volition or not, they are quite defensive, quite protective of their family. I would expect if they knew you were taking Razugal to far-off lands, that they might try and force him back, whether or not he wishes to leave.
Breasts. I mean, yes.
She tightens her little jacket over her front a little bit more.
He looks closer.
Varnush starts looking. He's smirking.
He
She
watches.
starts looking around
He
uncomfortably.
watches.
Now, if
You can cover them all you want. We still know they're here.
Karn looks at the rest of the group and says, yes, I think.
Okay. I lean for him. All right. We'll take him. We'll bring him down to the outpost. Is there a timetable on the matter?
No, just let me know, or leave word with the innkeeper at the Red Rose in Droon Outpost when you get there. He will get word to me somehow, and just hold tight until I arrive.
All right. I guess. Well, thanks for the job. I assume
No,
you'll pay for
thank
this,
you.
the food and stuff that we've got.
She nods and leaves some silver coins on the table.
Great. And then I just start eating.
Okay. She gets up, gives a polite curtsy, and walks out the front door and into the night. Unless it's the morning, and in which case she walks into the dawn.
All right. I think we just finish up dinner then, or breakfast.
Yeah, we'll call it morning. You guys finish up all of your food, and what do you do?
Does anyone? Are there people still in the bar?
There are a few other people around. It's mostly humans, but you do see two elves who are sitting at a table very far away from you, and a couple of half-orcs who are sitting fairly close to you, but on the exact opposite side of the room as the elves.
I look at Karn and say, "You want to go talk to those orcs, and I'll go figure out what's going on with the elves. See if we can get information.
See-
Yes.
Maybe take Varnush with you."
Fuck
let's-
orcs. I'm not talking to them.
I kind of laugh a little bit, walk off to the bar.
Karn giggles too. He's like, he has nothing witty to say, but he just laughs.
Think I'm going to go take a nap. Good night. And then I just nap on the table.
Okay, Varnush goes to sleep. JP?
Yeah, I go over to the innkeeper and ask, or the barkeeper, whoever is down here, and ask if he knows what the elves' story is, like why they're here or what they're doing here.
He shakes his head. The elves are tricksy ones. They don't like to talk about much. They've been ordering wine all night, but it doesn't surprise me too much.
Great. How much is it? The wine they've been ordering.
2 silver a glass.
Okay.
But I've got this much nicer 5 silver a glass wine that you could impress them with if you're trying to buy them some drinks.
It has a mini horse inside of it. It's horse wine.
Horse
Yes.
one. It's good to know. I'll let you know if I need that. I'm gonna go have a word with them and see what they're doing.
He looks a little disappointed.
Oh,
all right.
I probably will need it. I'll be right back.
So you head over to the elves. They look up and immediately stop their conversation as you approach.
Were they speaking Elvish? Could I tell?
Give me a perception check.
What is my perception?
The first roll of the night.
Meanwhile,
Well-
from far away, you hear the loud snoring of Varnouche.
Wow, that's
Like
good.
Oh,
at
yeah.
the bar.
He has
There it
sleep
is,
apnea.
boys.
Wait,
There it is.
wait. If you roll a 1 on an attack saving throw or skill check, you may re-roll it, but use that result.
This is a skill check. Yes.
17.
Fuck, man. Fucking halflings. They were indeed speaking Elven as you were approaching.
Do I even speak Elvish? I don't think I do. Okay. I guess I approached them. I'm just like, I apologize to interrupt the conversation. I'm just seeing if you guys have any information about what the Joshua tribe out in the desert. Figure
One
you
of
guys-
them replies in a heavy Elven accent, "We are from the Joshua tribe." Because
Oh.
elves sound like they're Eastern European in this world.
Gotcha.
Nice.
Is the war still going on in the desert? Is it still ongoing?
Yes.
Are there? My friends and I are trying to figure out a way to get out to the desert. We're adventuring types, and we're trying to bypass any of the wars if we can. Do you guys know of safe travel that perhaps we could pay you for the information?
The desert is a very dangerous place. What is it you seek?
To get by without having to interfere in a fight of the war.
Where is it that you wish to go, though? The desert is large.
I wrote down everything except where Razagul was in the desert. They just said in the Joshua tribe, right?
The Joshua tribe, yeah.
Okay, I just responded. We're trying to get to the actual Joshua tribe.
Oh, really? We are headed there soon.
Is that it?
What business do you have with the tribe?
My friend over there, and I point to Dante, has business with one of the elves.
Which elf? My father is chieftain.
I'm not sure. I'd have to ask him for the name. I'm only here. He had a rough day yesterday, so I came to talk to you guys to see if you had any information before we departed.
Hold on. One of them, the other one, says to the guy who's speaking. Well, you don't speak Elven, so he says a few words in Elven, and the one that is speaking says, "If you wish to come visit our tribe, we would be happy to guide you for a small fee."
And how much is that?
75 gold.
All right. Well, I'll let you know. Are you going to be here for the rest of the morning?
We should be here for a few more days.
Fantastic. All right. Thank you for the information, and please continue your conversation. And I walk off.
They nod at you, but never leave eye contact.
Okay.
Okay. Who goes and speaks to the orcs?
Karn does, of course.
All right, Karn. What do you do?
Karn saunters over to him, tries to see if he notices what they're drinking.
Ale.
Good. He goes to the bartender and tries to nod at him. Does he notice?
Bartender comes over with his greasy rag, polishing a mug. What can I do for you, sir?
Ale! And then he points at them.
How many ales would you like?
Many.
I think I understand. And he starts pouring a large pitcher and hands it to you.
Okay. I pay the man his money and then hand or I go over to the orcs and set the pitcher of ale down and say, "Gentlemen, may I please join you for a drink?"
Of course. My name
Very
is
good.
Groon. This is my cousin, Dura.
Ah, Grun, Dura. My name is Karn the Destroyer. It's so nice to meet your acquaintances. I was wondering if you guys could share the scuttlebutt about the Joshua Tree area. I heard that we are supposed to go to war with them fairly soon.
You do not call it war when you slaughter ants by the thousands.
Of course, the Great Reapening. The blood shall flow deeper and thicker than a female orc's uterus during childbirth.
What is a uterus?
He kind of looks at them and says, "It is the place of which we always seek but never get."
I do not know this place, but it sounds like I will meet it in death.
Probably. How goes the slaughtering then? I heard there's an especially large one supposed to happen.
Foolish elves think the coastline belongs to them. It is orcish territory. It is where we raid our ships.
Ah, okay. So in aquatic warfare, we have it in our hands then.
They come through the desert, over the hills, attacking our small outpost, and yet hundreds of elves cannot defeat us.
Yeah, very good. This seems to be a super productive conversation. Any advice you would give? We're supposed to head over there. One of my pink-skinned friends has some kind of dealings. I'm sure it will result in the consuming of raccoon and the slaughter of many innocents, but
Raccoon is a fine meal.
delicious.
If you bring some to Rock Outpost, I'm sure the chieftain will praise you.
Ah, good advice. Okay, I'll see what I can do.
Are you coming home with us?
No. Like I said, I have to aid these pinkskins. They pay me handsomely and give me many opportunities to crash skulls, so of course I stay with them.
When you are done finding employment with them, bring them to us and we shall feast on their blood.
The best of blood is, of course, those that you travel with. I agree. All right. Well, I appreciate.
When was the last time you were in Rock Outpost?
I don't believe I've ever been there.
You must come someday. To the north, the hills by the desert, on the western side of the desert.
Okay.
It
Surely
is
I
where
shall
the
remember
elves
this.
have made their attacks and where we have slain them by the hundreds.
Fantastic. Good job, brother. It looks like you have slain 50 with each arm by itself, I would imagine.
51.
And then he drinks the mead with him or whatever. And
Yeah. Cough up 2 silver for the bucket of ale.
sure. After the conversation, he goes back to the group and just kind of shrugs and says, "Nothing."
So, to the Joshua tribe it is, then.
Yeah, I tell everyone. I guess when you get back, I'm in the process of telling Dante about the Joshua tribe. I say those elves over there will charge us 75 gold, and we can just walk right in. If you guys want to take an easy path, that'll cost us a little bit. It's like a raccoon and a half, I think, is actually how they offered it to us.
Well,
We look over at Mr. Varnouche, who is sleep apnea'd against the table, just expanding and falling.
I look to Karn and I ask him how much is in our coffers.
Karn nods really emphatically and it gets very excited, checks inside, kind of opens at the chest and sifts through it, checks a little note that he has and says, 135. Wait. 141.
So that's over half of our money, and all they're offering is sort of a guide through the desert. Is that what it is?
And we get to buy. We get to just walk straight in. Although I did tell them that you're going to meet an elf out there, so you'd have to figure that out. But
Yeah. What if we just paid them nothing and then kind of left around the same time?
and just followed their tracks.
Well, it wouldn't even have to be us following. I could, I have an imp. I can turn him invisible. He can follow them, and we could follow him.
I look at Karn. That sounds good to me. Does that sound good to you?
Yes, but he can make better deal.
What's the better deal?
He has power.
Dante, what is he talking about?
Are you talking about me, Karn?
Yes, the nose one.
What power are you referring to?
He looks over Varnouche, who's passed out. He kind of sighs deeply and says,
Fucking arcs.
power to make better deal.
Oh, yes. Well, that is true. I will say this. These elves, I get the impression that they're somewhat powerful.
Yeah, one of them is the chieftain's son, apparently, so he probably
Right.
is of some power, yeah.
So usually I like to use this power against less hardy individuals. I've learned this lesson the hard way. So I think maybe my first idea is better in this situation.
He nods and says, agreeable.
They said they're going to be here for a few days, so you guys just want to wait and we'll leave when they leave?
We can do that. I can just have my imp follow them and then notify me when they're getting ready to go.
Okay. What are the chances that they find your imp? If one had to put a percentage to it.
Unless they're just randomly doing checks for invisible creatures nearby, which I highly doubt anyone would ever do that unless they were perhaps metagaming, then we should be fine.
All right. Well, let's hope they're not metagaming orcs. I hate those. Or metagaming elves. I hate those. I guess I go over and maybe grab Varnouche's arm. Hey, Varnouche. Varnouche, we're going to stay here for a couple days. Go upstairs and go to the room. You don't have to sleep on the table.
Ah, that's what I like to hear. Night.
It's 11 a.m., but okay, have a good day.
Right.
I give Mr. Varnouche what's left of the pitcher that I bought and say, here.
Thank you. You have been a good friend. And then I kind of topple towards the room.
Okay. Next morning, then.
We can take a break here if that works for you.
That's a perfect breaking point.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Cool. We'll take a break. We'll come back with hour 2 of Roleplay 40's week 46 of Solum, I think is what it is. A lot of weeks. I always forget. Anyways, we'll be right back, guys. We're going to take a 5-minute break. We'll see you guys after the break.